Hi everyone, Trishna here. So today I want to talk to you about the number one rule you need to follow in order to manifest anything that you desire. If you follow this one rule, you will be over 50% of the way to whatever it is that you want to achieve. Now, in my last video, I talked about the three components or the three secrets or the three elements that are needed in order to manifest whatever it is that you want with both speed and ease. Those are the three elements that you need to work on that need to be in alignment so that whatever it is that you call out comes towards you as effortlessly as possible. If you haven't already seen that video, I highly recommend that you check it out. It is 20 minutes of pure manifestation gold. It's really important. It sets the foundation for everything that you need to know in order to manifest and everything that we're going to be talking about in future videos so that you can call in whatever it is that you want to create for yourself in your reality. Now, in that video, I also mentioned that I'm really going to focus on the first two components the most in the next sets of videos. The first two components that I mentioned are you really need to create this emotional, this energetic foundation, this very fertile, healthy environment. And that is your emotions, that is releasing your blocks, and you need to create that so that when you plant your seeds, your intentions, your desires, your thoughts of what you want to manifest, into that environment, it grows without anything in its way. There are no blocks that are impeding its path. The path is clear and there's momentum behind your desire. And so you move straight towards whatever it is that you want to achieve in your reality and in your life. So those are the two components that we're going to be talking about here. Now, for me in the past, when I first started manifesting about 12 years ago, I only focused on that thought component. I would only think about my desire. I would visualize my desire. I wouldn't really pay attention to any blocks that were in my way or any kind of emotional feedback that I was receiving. And honestly, I had the hardest time manifesting anything, even the littlest things. I just had the hardest time. And then, like recently, I have been guided towards focusing more on the emotional, releasing block side of things. And with that, it is very effective if, let's say, you're working on a relationship and there are a lot of foundational issues in the relationship, like the relationship is built on faulty foundation. Whenever you release blocks around that, I notice that I manifest within a week, whatever it is that I'm looking for. But beyond that, there really isn't the magic, like I was saying in my first video, like you don't really create as much of the specifics beyond whatever is the foundation, whatever needs to be fixed in the foundation, because the emotions really are the foundational aspect of creating a very comfortable, nice situation, relationship, abundant situation. But if you really want the magic, if you really want the specifics, then the manifestations, intentions, the thought is really important as well. Now, in the past, I have also done both. And when I have done both, I became a master manifester overnight. Within 30 days, I was just this master manifester, just bringing in huge manifestations of abundance and wealth and things like that. Whatever it is that I really wanted, I would usually get within about 6 months or even shorter. So the two together are extremely, extremely powerful. I have manifested with just one or the other. I know there's a third component, but like I said, I'm going to talk about that in future videos. And I've also manifested with both. And when I manifested with both, the power was just unreal. You will realize just how powerful of a creator you are, just how much of a god you are. It's going to be awesome. So definitely check out that video. Now, in this video, like I was saying, I want to talk about the number one rule to manifesting whatever your desire is. So it doesn't matter what component you're working on, whether it's the emotions, the thoughts, or the spirit side, you always need to approach each one by following this number one rule to manifesting. Okay, so this number one rule is you must always be honest about how you feel about your desire or whatever area of life you are trying to create an improvement in. You don't have to be honest with anybody else about how you feel about this desire or this manifestation that you want, but you must always be honest with yourself. Now, this is extremely important because in order for you to be able to achieve or reach wherever it is that you want to go, whatever vision you have, whatever end goal you want, whatever desire you want to create, in order to be able to get there, you need to know where you are right now. You need to know where you're starting from to be able to go to where you want to go. And that all starts with how you feel. So what do I mean by you must always be honest with how you feel about the situation? So let's say you wanted to call in a relationship into your life. Some of you may say, yeah, I really want to have a relationship in my life. I'm excited about this relationship. I feel ready. I feel like I've worked on myself. My life is so happy and so successful, and I want somebody to share it with. I don't want to be loved. I want to love. Right? That's somebody who has a lot that they want to give And so they're excited, they're ready. That's how they feel about calling in a relationship, that desire. Others of you may say, I really want a relationship. But when you sit down and really think about it, yes, you want the relationship, but you're also really scared. Maybe you've been hurt in the past, maybe you've been cheated on, you have this baggage and you're scared. You want a relationship, but you're scared to open up. You're scared to have somebody be that close to you again. You're scared to be in a situation where somebody could hurt you the way you've been hurt in the past. And so that is how you feel. You feel scared. It doesn't matter how you actually feel. It only matters that you know how you feel. How you feel will not determine whether or not you will get your end desire. If you are scared, it doesn't mean you will never find love. You will. But you need to know where you are so that you can travel on that journey to find love. But if you were to just say that you're excited even though you're not, you'd be shooting yourself in the foot, because that's not how you feel. And you'd be like, oh, I'm so excited about a relationship. Let me create my desire. But you'd be fighting against yourself because you would also be scared and trying to protect yourself at the same time, and you're just not going to go anywhere. So it's really important that you know exactly where you are, that you're honest. And, I say, I emphasize this because it can be really hard to be honest with yourself about how you feel, because sometimes you think, well, I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't be scared. I should be over this by now. I shouldn't need to continue to heal on this. It can be really easy to just beat yourself up when you make yourself aware, when you become vulnerable with how you actually feel about something. But don't do that. It doesn't matter where you are. It only matters that you know. Just pride yourself on knowing where you are. And don't be afraid of that. It's okay. And also don't be afraid that, if you acknowledge that you're scared or that you're having negative vibrations about something, that it's gonna put on hold whatever it is that you want. Don't think about it that way, because if you are pretending that you feel something that you don't, that negative vibration is still there. When you address it, it feels acknowledged, and it becomes a lot easier to handle and deal with and start releasing. So acknowledging it is actually really important. Don't dwell on it, but acknowledge that it's there and be excited to improve on that and to feel better and better and better so that you can reach your manifestation. Okay, so I think I've kind of been on that tangent enough now. It's really important that you know how you feel about something. Okay, so now you know how you feel. How do you move on from here? How do you know what to do? So, like I was saying, this rule is what you need to approach every manifestation with to start with, and it will tell you what your next step should be on how to bring this into your life. So, if you feel excitement or better, you feel excited, you feel joyful, you feel appreciative, you want to show your love, you feel happy, life is wonderful. If you feel excitement or better, that means that it's time for you to work on the thoughts. It means that you have already created this positive environment, this very fertile environment of positivity, this emotional strength, this emotional foundation, and now it's time for you to plant the seeds of specificity. Plant your seeds in detail. So that means that you need to work on manifesting, work on the thought side of things. That's the thought component that you're ready to work on now. If you feel anything less than excitement, so if you feel sad, if you feel scared, if you feel angry, if you feel frustrated, if you feel any kind of self-doubt, that's when you need to work on healing your blocks, releasing your blocks, soothing those feelings so that you can start moving your way up towards feeling good and excited. So that means that you need to work on the emotional component, the emotional leg. You need to work on building a very fertile emotional foundation for your seeds later to be planted in, so that there's nothing impeding their direction. Now, some of you may say, okay, so, I don't feel better than excited, but I also don't feel sad or angry or anything. I'm kind of in between. So I would call that more of the apathetic zone. Maybe you feel like, yeah, I'd want this, that would be nice. That's not a bad place to be, but also there isn't that momentum. There isn't that oomph to your desire. So you could create, but I really feel like the apathetic zone tends to be a situation where you have blocks, but you're just not very aware of them because they're not as evident, or maybe they're not as big or as strong. So it is an area where, you could still create, but really I feel like it's still an area where you need to heal. So what I would do is I would try to identify my blocks. Now, like I was saying, the apathetic zone is where it's really hard to know what your blocks are. So what I would do in that case, if you can't figure out what your block is, what I would do is I would go ahead and start trying to manifest, start trying to visualize, start trying to journal. We're going to talk more about how to manifest in not the next video, but the video after. But I would start trying to manifest, visualize or journal or create vision boards. And as you do that, as you're thinking like, oh, I would love this relationship and it would be so wonderful, and we would do all of these things, you might suddenly feel a hesitation of, wait, we would do all of these things, but I'm really busy, I don't really have the time. Would we actually really do all those things? Do I really want to invest? So you'll start having hesitations as you're trying to manifest your reality, and those are your blocks. Take note of what you're hesitating about. Like, what is causing that hesitation? You feel like you're too busy, or you feel like, maybe you're not ready, or maybe you don't really want to be tied down, whatever comes up for you, just take note of that. And those are the things that you need to heal on, that you need to still work on to create that emotional environment. So once you kind of have a note of a few things that you need to work on, then you can work on the healing and releasing those blocks. And then that will get you ready to bring in the relationship and actually start working on the manifestation side of things. So I'm going to wrap up this video basically here. I tend to talk a lot and want to explain everything in like one video, and then it becomes a really long video, and I want to make all these videos a little bit more digestible, easier to digest. So I'm going to stop here. I want to let you know what's to come though. So in my next video, I'm going to focus on, if you're on this healing side where you're really trying to build that emotional environment, that fertile environment for your seeds to grow, how do you do that? Like, what is required? How do you do that? What are some things that you need to think about? So that's going to be the next video. The video after that, we're going to focus on the manifestation, intention, setting desires side of things. And again, we're going to talk about what should you include in that, what are some things for you to consider so that you can really manifest with power, so you can really set your intentions with a lot of power and momentum behind them, so that you're just shooting straight for whatever it is that you are trying to create in your life. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope I earned your like and your subscribe. If you think that this video or this series would help anybody, please don't hesitate to share. Also leave a comment if you have any questions, and I will see you in my next video.